Good Friday morning, my friends. Well, we made it to Friday, which is awesome. It's been a long week for many of us, and we are able to take time now to regenerate a bit. I apologize in advance if I start coughing or sneezing or anything. My kids have decided to bring home stuff. They're so generous. So I apologize in advance. So today what I want to do is look at what next week brings. I like to give you guys a couple of days or a day or so to build in and try and plan out what next week's going to give you. I'm a reflector. I like time to think. So I give people, whether they need it or not, time to process or time to watch the video, because not everyone's able to make it live, and I get that. That's why I make sure that it is posted and you guys have that ability to access it as you need. So today we are going to be looking at September 25th through to the very beginning of October, October 1. So I have brought in, this is the Chromatic Fates. I love this deck. I love the shine, the color, the feel. It's great. Has very, very small print, hence my glasses. And I'm that's upside down. Pairing it with the Beyond Lumaria Oracle. Again, very beautiful. And that fluidity, I think, is very needed right now. So let's get into this. What can my friends expect from the week of September 25th through October 1st? So October is one of my favorite times of the year, especially if we have a fall up here in Canada. Don't always get it, which sometimes is sad. Sometimes we go from hot weather to snow. Sucks. So I am excited because it's looking like we're going to get a fall, which means that we're going to have that color. So happy for that. Those beautiful transitions into the oranges and the reds. It's fantastic. Plus, we've got the thinning of the veil. We've got Halloween. Canadians, we get our Thanksgiving. I call it Thanksgiving Part 1. Part 2 is in November. I like to celebrate with a lot of people. So this is the Four of Cups. Four, of course, in tarot is all about stability, which really kicks off our week, I think, accordingly. We need that stability. Many of us aren't feeling that stable right now. We've got, I think, 6 planets in retrograde. We've got the constellation Chiron in retrograde. There's just a lot of influx. The more stable we are, the better we're going to feel. It's going to really be part of the foundation of this week. Not to mention, many of us are feeling really humdrum about what we have right in front of us. We're missing that Holy Grail. Now, this is the card that Pamela Coleman Smith drew in the Rider-Waite deck, where he's crossing his arms and he's like, and he's looking at these 3 cups. And off beside him is the Ace of Cups hand, that universal hand, God's hand, giving him a cup, the Holy Grail. Different interpretation of the same idea. We need to, be grounded and stable so that we are able to grasp hold of that Holy Grail. Because the best piece is the Holy Grail is different for everybody. It's connection, it's meaning, it's, life force is different. And it appears differently to everybody at different times and in different ways. So it's about being present in the here and now, not getting caught up about the what happens, the what could-haves, those should-haves, those would-haves, or on the flip side, hyper-focusing in on the future with those what-ifs. We need to be here. We need to be present. This is the 3 of Wands. I love this card. He's just like, hey. Now, the chromatic fates, not only are the borders different colors and there's the imagery is amazing, each card is created by a different author. I like a different illustrator. And I love that. I love the fact that we have such a diversity in this deck. So the Three of Wands, of course, is about that movement forward, using that drive, that creativity, that inner self to push us forward. This week, we're going to be able to see some great movement in embracing that Holy Grail. If we're staying here in the present, using our inner fire, that flame, that self to connect in and enjoy what's happening, your world. Whether or not we're where we want to be, we need to be enjoying the aspects that are going right. Because if we do not, if we focus in on what's not going right, we feed what's not going right. We want to focus in on what is, so we let that thrive. This is why I have my glasses on, because it's like 0.2 font. This is the Three of Cups. Now, double threes. We have our little cutesy here, Three of Wands, Three of Cups. When we have that multiple three, the angels are telling you that something close to your heart needs to be expressed. Well, that expression not only is going to be very individual, because creativity is very individual, it is necessary, especially this week. It is connected into that Holy Grail. It is connected into giving you that fulfillment, that joy, helping you to stay here and find that happiness. Find what's going to fuel you rather than what's going to take your energy from you. So the Three of Cups. I was holding the card. I'm like, did I talk about this card? No, I haven't. So the Three of Cups, of course, cups are about intuition and creativity. On a side note, creativity has a yin yang like everything else. We have the intuitional creativity and that very self-driven creativity, that passion creativity. So the yin and yang are right there. This week, make sure that you do schedule in, plan in somewhere, somehow, creative moments. It does not have to be hours and hours. We don't have that. A couple of minutes or half an hour, 20 minutes, whatever. Have it in your day as much as possible. Creativity does not always mean arts and crafts. It's how you express you. That's going to help with that Holy Grail. It's going to help you feel stronger and better. Three of Cups talks about that connection, that community. We are social beings. We are still trying to get a good equilibrium on what that community, that connection looks like. Please, please don't try and hibernate this week. Yes, I know Mercury's in retrograde and all of us are like, oh my God. If we burrow ourselves, we cannot and will not succeed this week. We need to reach out to those people who are supportive of us, not just any old person. Reach out to those that really fill and fuel you. You know them. They're your friends and family that after you connect in with them, you feel good. You feel energized and empowered. Taking time. Now, it doesn't have to be a lot of time. You can take said phone and text them and say, hey, how's it going? Yeah, I'm good. That can be enough. If it's not, schedule in a coffee date, schedule in dinner, whatever is going to work with your schedule. But that connection, that's only going to feed and fuel you. And finally, yet another cup. This is the Five of Cups. Very much connected in with this four. These three cups in the original card, he's looking very like humdrum about it. He's like, is this it? In the Five of Cups, there's three overturned cups, similar to these three, but in these ones, there's like substance coming out of them. One's red, green, like it's kind of like a really neon-y yellow green, and one is brown. Use your imagination. I'm not going to say it, but it's the toxicity that we have. These two cups connect in with this cup. It gives us that life force. This is also connected in, of course, to the Two of Cups, which talks about connection and balance. We need to be paying attention to this rather than this. Because this toxic stuff, we've been feeling it, well, for a couple weeks now, some of us months, depending on how sensitive you are. I can't remember when we started our retrograde mania, where we have all 6 of these. I know Mercury went into retrograde earlier in September, but the others, they started months ago. Some planets go into retrograde for a considerable amount of time. So many of us have been feeling that heaviness, like that sludge, that toxic crap. It is going to be very important that we start dumping that toxic so we can start to embrace that holy grail, the stuff that is meaningful, that we love to do. Now, I know that sounds like it's a hard piece or it's a lot of work. Not necessarily. So on my channel, I give you guys supports and the guidance. So if you're new here, welcome. I've got 4 meditative playlists. I've got 3 or 4 healing. I can't remember how many playlists I've got anywhere anymore. Healing playlists. I've got mindfulness playlists. You can get some tools to help energetically get rid of this stuff and help you focus and help you ground. They are all guided. So if people are like, I can't meditate. Don't worry, either can I. If you told me to go sit in a room and say, go meditate for 30 minutes, I would be like, yeah, that's not going to happen. A guided meditation, I'll talk you through it. So these are tools that you can easily use, and they range in a time variety. So it's easy to incorporate in. That gunk, though, it's going to take more than one meditation or more than one healing. I'll give you a tool here that's going to help. Out of these 4 cards, 3 of them are cups. That water is going to be helpful and an essential tool as we go on, because these planets are going to start to go direct. October 2nd, Mercury goes direct. We're carrying that energy. We're carrying the energy of the retrograde. We're carrying the energy of people in the retrograde. So water is so helpful in dumping that toxic. So I will give it to you in chunks here. So if you are out and working or at school or in your day and you're in the community and you're not at home and you're like, oh my God, I just feel like you're vibrating with the energy, or you feel like you're crashing, go to a bathroom or a kitchen, wherever there's running water. Or if you're out in the middle of the wilderness, and I don't know how that would happen, that you would get hit by it, but if you do, any source of running water, run your hands under it. You don't need soap, just the intention, I got to get rid of this energy. Visualize the gunk coming out. Water will siphon it out, just like you sucking a fluid through a straw. It will help to degunk you with a snap of your finger. And you stay there as long as you need. No one's going to question it. We just got out of a pandemic. Oh, look, they're washing their hands. Hygiene. Yay. Just step that up. You get home from work, you get home from school, you get home from wherever, and you feel heavy and gross, and you're just like, oh, this is yuck. You can go take a bath or a shower. And again, you can use that to your advantage. Set the intention before you go in. I'm going to clean myself and degunk myself, body, mind, and soul, in this shower or bath, whichever you're taking. I would also kick it up a notch and ask for any and all high vibrational beings to support you in releasing that toxic yuck. Then go and take a shower and just feel the hot water either flow over you, or just enjoy that bubble bath or that bath and just let it go. The important piece here is that you let it go. So helping with that degunking, that detoxing crap. Additionally, drinking extra water will help with some of that physical detoxation. I'm not a big proponent, me personally, of those big detox things that I know they were really big about 10 years ago, but drinking water is a natural detoxation. So drink some water. Have a nice shower, a bath. Enjoy. And if you happen to be by a body of water that is not, well, mine's almost frozen. Like, the water up in Canada, where I'm from, we don't have a lot of hot water in the wild. It's cold. You can go for a swim. I think it's like 12 degrees Celsius outside. Smidge cold for me to do that, but depending on where you're from, you may have that ability too. Natural bodies of water can work just as well. Okay. Now, don't worry about toxic, like putting that toxic into the environment. Your guardian angel is always with you. They will transmute it so that it's not going to hit Gaia. It's not going to impact the environment in any way. This is all energy. So we want to, you don't even have, well, if you're intentionally doing a shower or a bath, he or she will automatically be on the ball. Okay. They know what you're doing, especially if you're like, I got to get rid of this energy. You're already talking about it. Okay. I know I've had a lot of clients who are like, but I don't want to hurt Gaia anymore. That's not going to hurt Gaia. Okay. So let's go into the beginning of the week. What does the beginning of the week look like for my friends? Now, astrologically, there's not a lot of shift going on. We just entered into Libra. That's another part of that kind of busy energy. Anytime we see a zodiac really come into prime and are the kind of captains of the sky, if you will, many people, especially some of my more sensitive friends, can and will feel that and will want to kind of degunk from that. The Four of Swords. So I literally said at the beginning of this video, so probably about 10 minutes ago, rest and rejuvenation is going to be essential, especially after the week we've just had. The Four of Swords, rest and rejuvenation card. We've been overthinking things. We've been bearing things. The energies are getting toxic and heavy. Take that time. This is exactly the perfect time to connect into your supports. Get that connection and nurturing from your friends and family that are helpful. Connect into that creativity. Connect in and do like a meditation or a healing or go for a swim or whatever's going to be meaningful, because you are not a cookie. We cannot just get cookie cutters and keep just shoving stuff down people's throats. It has to be meaningful and the tool has to work for you. If it does not work for you, what is it that you need to do? What creative activity or creative movement do you need to do to make that tool work? How do you need to wiggle it? Rest and rejuvenation. And interestingly enough, sorry, came out too quick. Interestingly enough, we have the Four of Swords and the Four of Cups. Both are the first card in both sections. Double fours, the angels are encouraging you to connect in with that structure, that foundation. Grounding will be essential. So for my crystal friends, of course, if you've been with me for a while, you know tiger iron is my go-to when it comes to grounding. It helps maintain that grounded energy. Other crystals that will work. Anything black, this is jet. Anything red, like red jasper. Nope. Kids have the red jasper. Sorry, it's red. Any red crystal will work. Any black crystal will work. I like tiger iron because it does have the jasper. It's got, I think it's black obsidian. It's got a couple different crystals and it really just, it sings to me. So that can help maintain that grounded energy, especially if you're having a hard day or you know that in work or school, you've got that big project coming up. The High Priestess. Such a pretty card. I love how my camera, like, I'm going to defocus. No, I'm not. The High Priestess will kick my hiney. So, High Priestess talks about that connection. Couple things on here. One, Saturday, we are having a new moon. That is a perfect time to connect in with that healing, with that rejuvenation. The High Priestess, of course, usually has the triple aspect crown. She usually has the moon at her feet. So that lunar energy is there. She is also connected into her intuition And we have 3 cups across the top: intuition and emotion. Those intuitive aspects, those gut feelings that really kind of bring you joy, they fill you, not the gut pieces that bring you down and make you feel yuck. These are the ones that make you feel better, that fill your cup. Start listening to them. Write them down. Sometimes it's too scary to jump in on it, but writing them down gives them like a physicality. And then you can reflect into it. What is it that it doesn't feel right? What scares me here? We're transcending into a new month. This is a fantastic time for that reflection. Looking at it, how do you want to go forward? We're going into one of the easiest months to work with our intuition and our clairs. How do you want to use that? The High Priestess is here to guide you. She usually carries the scroll, and it has Torah, T-O-R-A. That is the scroll of universal knowledge. A lot of people think it says tarot, but no, it's Torah. So know that that is there. That wisdom and guidance is there. She's also a gatekeeper. She's usually between that, everyone thinks it's funny, the B and the J columns that are black and white. Well, those columns are actually they symbolize the temple in Jerusalem. And I can never say their names. It's like Jebediah or something like that. And Bezel is what they stand for. And so we've got these 2 pillars. And then she has this really like funky background. They're supposed to be pomegranates, by the way. But behind her is that like this weird grayed out kind of water, a body of water, and then some mountains. It talks about that stepping stone. She can help guide you to that next stage. So many cards miss many of the very subtle symbolism that Pamela Coleman Smith drew. Yes, the cards, they haven't aged as well as people had hoped, but those symbols, those are amazing. And if you think about it, Pamela Coleman Smith, she downloaded all those cards. She's a phenom. I love her. Okay, so the High Priestess, she's going to be kind of a good guide throughout the week. She will, of course, help us with that rest and rejuvenation, building us up. We're going to build up ourselves, body, mind, and soul. Let's go on to the middle of the week. What does the middle of the week bring, my friends? Okay. Such a beautiful rendition of the Ace of Swords. Those ahas. The more we connect into our intuition, our third eye, and no matter where our abilities are, know their abilities. The more we use them, the stronger they're going to get. And I have meditations to help you start strengthening that. Because the more we meditate and calm ourselves, and it doesn't even mean calming our mind, calm ourselves. So that deep breathing, not only are we going to be able to use our intuition, we are going to be using our frontal cortex, which is very much what the sword is about, that thinking. We calm our system no matter what stimuli or what situation's happening, so we can think it through. We can create the solution we need rather than reacting. Because usually what we do like to do is react. We start to almost hyperventilate because we do that weird pant, like we just start to breathe faster and faster. It doesn't help us. The High Priestess and the Ace of the Ace of Swords really wants us to slow down. The Four of Swords, again, slow down. We're getting a really clear picture that the slower we're going to go, the more we're going to grow. The Six of Cups. I love that background. Is it the 6? No. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Sorry, I got the Roman numerals mixed up. The 9 of Cups. Another cup to connect in with that intuition and the emotion. The 9 is about abundance. Again, I said earlier, probably about 20 minutes ago, we need to feed what is going right. Middle of the week, this is when we've built ourselves up, we're feeling good, we're getting that direction, that aha. This is where we need to start to feed the aspects that are going right. How do you do that? Well, you start to think about them. You start to engage in them. So those pieces that are going right, you want to see them grow. How do you do that? Reflect in. What is it that's going right? And if you need to, go old school. Write it down. List it out. And then look at it and go, okay, so these are the things that are going right. How can I see that grow? How can I nurture that? Those ahas, they're going to start to roll. Especially if you put that intention. So if you're stumped, write it all out. Think about it. And then before you go to bed, ask for the guidance. Ask for the aha. Have your spiritual binder close at hand. So if you're new, I don't do the little booklets that you find at stores that are very expensive. They're non-practical. Go with a binder because you can do anything in a binder. You can add stuff. I have people who collect stuff and they tape it on to make collage and stuff. They go and have that creative zhuzh. But more importantly, you can keep it in order and you have access to it. I'm kind of a nerd that way. But have your binder and a pen or pencil close at hand. Please stay away from the technology. We are in Mercury retrograde. And what's going to happen is that you're going to write it down and it's not going to save right, or you're not going to be able to access it again. So pen and paper go a long way because you want to take down that aha. If you can't remember, or if you're writing too quickly, or my problem, I get up and I've got to deal with kids, ask them to repeat it the next night. It's okay. They will keep giving you the same information until you get it. Or throughout the day, you can ask them to gently remind you. And then just be present for the symbols. It's not like it's going to be a voicemail where it's going to say, these are the things you need to do, and I will list them for you slowly. No, it comes in symbols. It comes in numbers. We need to be present. We need to use that frontal cortex, our thinking, to kind of process it. It's a puzzle that we need to solve. All right, then let's head off to the end of the week. As we enter into October, what can my friends expect in the end of the week? So anytime we have a natural transition, and we just had one in yesterday with the start of fall, I encourage people to reflect. What has this past month, this past season brought me? What do I want to work on? What do I want to release? And again, that release, we talked about that. We can easily release it. Water is one way. Another way, depending on where you live and what tools you have, you could write it down on a piece of paper and then burn it in a campfire, right? There's ways of releasing stuff. And we've got the hangman or hanged woman. I like the perspective. The kind of, it's not top down, down, up, top. Anyway, she's hanging from a tree. She's actually hanging from the tree of life. We need to let go of some of those expectations and demands. We have ideas of where we want to be. We need those ideas. And I talked about this in Libra. We have perspective, but we need more of a fluid bar. We want to set some goals. We want to go to a certain point. So we want to set that bar, but make it more fluid. A lot of times what we're doing is setting the bar low and aiming lower. No, set the bar. Aim, see what happens, but know that you can start to make it go up. You can have that fluidity. Don't be so strict on your expectations and your demands. Love it. We're ending off on a cup, the Knight of Cups. He's too cool for a horse. He's on a motorbike. So knights, of course, they're that adolescent no fear energy. As we enter into October, we need that very macho, I'm not afraid of anything energy. that fun, that play, that carefree. And carefree is really going to support you with that intuition. It's going to support you in that creativity. So we've got the Hanged Man and the Knight of Cups. Both of them talk about letting go of some of that expectation and demand. That rigidity will not help. Use your intuition, and how does it feel? Now, we do have 3 groups of 2, reminding you that balance is going to be key. We started off with a 4, which was structure and stability. Double or multiple 2s, we are again looking at that balance. I actually have a meditation or a healing that you guys are going to get on Tuesday that's going to help with both. I have a healing that is a balancing healing that brings in the stability that you need. A fantastic healing. I think from start to end, it's about 16 minutes long. So it's not long, and it's easy to incorporate into your week as many times as you need. You just need to use your tools. They need to fit, they need to work, but you actually need to do them. It's kind of like when you're trying to lose weight. Yeah, I'm going to get to the gym. I'm going to buy a gym membership. If you don't go, it won't work. All right, let's see what else will work. What supports will help my friends embrace this guidance and get the most out of the next week? I'm really excited about October. I said that before. Let me know what you guys think about October. What are you guys excited for? And it's not so much, and I know people are like, oh, boo, summer's over. Well, okay, great. We can't go backwards. What are you looking forward to? That 9 of Cups. Not surprising. Third eye chakra. It's going to be really important. Of course, your third eye is right here on your forehead, and it deals with that intuition and that emotion. I have not covered third eye. That's going to be, I think, actually, November. November's the third eye. Each month I've been going through and working with your chakras. It is coming. However, as a sneak peek, anything in the purple color will help work and connect in with your third eye. This is an easy crystal that many people have. Amethyst. Fantastic at working with and soothing that third eye. I have a number of meditations with Archangel Raziel who can help with that intuition. Just go through. It's about working here. It's about trusting our abilities, trusting in us.